Here with the WBC featherweight champ of the world, Mark Magnifico Magsayo. Mark, good evening. Nice to see you. How are you?
Good to see you, sir. Thank you for having me.
No problem. So I want to talk about MP Promotions, Sean Gibbons, how they've pushed you, kept you active, and really got you a title shot quick with only 24 fights. Did you anticipate getting that title shot and becoming a world champion so quick in your career?
First, I would like to thank Sir Sean for giving me this opportunity that he gave me, and he honored all the contracts that we signed. And first I fight activity fight, then second fight is also activity fight, two activity fights, and the third fight is like eliminator fight. So that's the ticket to become a world champion. That's a ticket for me. That's why I so thankful for Sir Sam Gibbons who pushing me to the world title fight. And I want that fight with Gary Russell. I told to him, I said to him that Sir Sam, give me Gary Russell because I want the best. I want the best boxer in the world. So he gave it to me, and now I am a world champion.
So you felt that Gary Russell was the best fighter in that division, and that's why you wanted to fight him.
Yeah, because everybody's scared of him, don't want to fight with him. And he said to me, Gary Russell told to me, finally, man, I have a competitor like you. He said,
Now I have to be honest with you. I was watching the fight. I scored it, and I had you winning 9 of those 12 rounds. I just thought your output really dictated how that fight went. And when those scores were announced, I was very surprised. Now, obviously, you can't score the fight when you're fighting it, but did you think that fight was as close as the judges had it?
for me, it's not a close fight because I've been forward and throwing a lot of punch and solid punching. And then I just followed Coach Freddy said, Coach Marvin told to me that stick to the game plan and focus the fight. That's it.
Yeah. Now, were you disappointed at the end of the fight when he was talking about being injured? Do you think that may have taken anything away from your victory, or were you upset by that at all?
Yeah, I think no, it's okay. He's just doing a alibi first. He's doing an alibi first. What if I hit him in the liver shot, and he said I have injured in the liver shot, right? Makes
Yeah.
sense. So I
Yeah.
hit him it's not intentional, but it's boxing. I'm just doing my job.
Yeah.
So I don't care what's the decision scorecard, and I don't care what he said. But the important is I'm the win. I'm the one who win the fight.
Absolutely. Do you think it was disrespectful for him to even think that even if he was injured, to go into the ring with one arm and try to defend his title against you? Why would he even attempt to do something like that against
Yeah,
a fighter like yourself?
yeah. He said because he's a true warrior. No, we're warrior the same in we're in the same ring. We're warrior. So just don't mind
Yeah.
it.
Well, you're the champion, so we won't have to really
Yeah,
worry about that right now.
yeah.
So early in your career, and for a great part of your career, you fought a lot of your fights in the Philippines, and now, as of late, you've been fighting the United States. Talk about the difference fighting in the United States, and how has that transition been, and how was that transition for you fighting from the Philippines and then coming to the United States and fighting and training and working with Freddie?
The difference in the Philippines and here is like the promotion, no? The promotion and the fighter. Very big difference because here is when you fight here, it's like your opponent's like your same level. In the Philippines, like your level like this and your opponent like this. So it's not fair. So here is like we are the same, and the fighter here is tough. So big difference in the gym, in wildcard gym. If I spar, all my sparring partners are tough, good fighter, quality fighter. In the Philippines, it's like, oh, I already know him. I got him. So like that, it's not a hard fighter or good fighter. But here, so they're all like competitors.
So you
Every sparring, yeah, every sparring, every training, every fight is a hard fighter.
So you felt
big difference.
in order for you to get better, you had to come here and get better sparring and
Yeah,
get better training and now
good fight.
yeah, now how do you feel about being on TV now? You've been you're really being put out there, like you said, the promotion. How has that been for you? Do you enjoy the limelight, so to speak? Because now you're a world champion, you're a star now. Do you feel any different?
Yeah, there's a lot of big difference now because I'm a world champion. The more you're world champion, there's a lot of fighter want to compete you, to challenge you. That's why I need to train more hard in the gym because it's in the ring because they expect me to perform well. That's why I train hard more.
Got you. I want to talk about a fight, the Julio Seja fight,
Mhm.
where you
Yeah.
got off to a quick start and then you kind of, you know, got yourself into a little bit of a hole. Now, did you know that you were behind in that fight? And did you feel that you had to knock him out to win that fight? And how did you muster up that energy and just get it done at the end?
Mm. First of all, I try to hit a toe to toe for him. It's like brawl to brawl. I tried, but the first round he got knocked out and he got knocked down, and I said, okay, this is it. I'm gonna follow through, then like that, and then in the middle of the round, the fifth round, I got knocked down. Oh man, he's strong, he's hard, and because Freddy said to me, okay, let's go to the plan B. There's our plan B. Our plan B is like working. Yeah, he's a good body punching. So stay out of the ropes, because Freddy said, and because Marvin, and go to the center and don't fight toe to toe. Fight distance for it because he's a brawl fighter as a body puncher. So I use our training camp and I just in the middle of the fight. So that's why I won the fight.
So do you
That's
think
that punch is we train that every day in the gym. Hook straight, jab straight, hook straight. We train that. That's why it's like easy to release for me.
so you knew that that combination was going to be there for you and you knew that was going to be the
Yeah,
determining factor, right? Now, because you knocked him down so early, do you think that because of that you got a little bit anxious, a little bit too
yeah,
aggressive, and you
aggressive.
didn't think that you thought that that was over at that time, and you didn't
Mhm.
realize that he was going to come back like that? So knocking him down could have been the worst thing for you, like knocking him down so early.
Yeah, just I thought it's gonna end it that round, but he's a good fighter. He's a tough fighter, strong fighter, and he's good. And because Freddie said we're behind the score, you need to knock him out.
Yeah.
Okay, coach, we're doing our job. We're doing my job in the ring, and I just stay away from him in the corner. When I got corner, I just clinch. Before I didn't clinch in the. If you see that early rounds, I don't clinch. I don't hug. If you see that in the 7 to 8 until 10 round, I already hug and clinch and go to the middle of the ring.
Yeah, and to be fair, in the Gary Russell fight, we saw a different Mark Magsayo. We saw a guy who wasn't loading up with punches, who was putting shots together, and you were just trying to land combinations. You weren't worried about knocking Gary Russell out. So, do you think that because of what happened in that fight, you learned from that and you carried it over to the Gary Russell fight, where you said to yourself, "I'm in there with the boxer. I'm going to have to box too because this guy's a good defensive fighter.
Yeah.
I'm not going to be able to probably get this guy here, so I'm going to have to throw a lot of punches." Is that what you did?
First, Gary Russell team thought that I'm slow, right? I'm slow. I always power punch, but they don't know what I'm capable of. I'm a fighter. I'm a slugger. Everything I can adjust in the middle of the fight. So I show to him that I have a speed. I have a power. That's what I and I learned a lot in that last fight with Julio Saya.
Yeah. And because he's the counterpuncher, you knew that you just couldn't throw one punch at a
Yeah,
time because you have
yeah,
to throw multiple punches. You have to mix up your shots. You got to vary your attack. You can't be
mm,
predictable. So yeah, I
mm,
mean, you had a great game plan in that fight. I thought that was
yeah.
a very good performance from you.
He 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 thinks that I just only throw one punch, and he
Yeah.
didn't know that I have straight jab, straight, just
Yeah.
a follow throw. Yeah.
Yeah. So do you think that's like a stereotypes with Filipino fighters like Manny Pacquiao was a knockout guy, Nonito Donaire is a knockout guy? You think that that's people just think a lot of these fighters just think that this guy's just going to try to knock me out. He's going to be aggressive. He's going to be throwing power punches. He really is not going to box. Do you think that a lot of your opponents underestimate that, and you think in general
Yeah.
people underestimate the boxing ability of Filipino fighters?
Yeah. So they already know that we're not underestimated fighter. So don't underestimate our capable, because every fighter's a lot of different skills, different mindset. So this is what we do in the fight: focus the fight and adjust in the middle of the fight, adapt the situation. What we call in the fight.
Yeah, yeah. So let's talk about Manny Pacquiao. How much of a help has he been? How much advice has he given you? Has he been able to mentor you? Do you interact with Manny Pacquiao a lot? How involved is he in your career? Obviously, he's the man at MP Promotions, but how involved is he, and how has he helped you in your career?
Um, First of all, he's the one I'm being a fighter right now. I'm a boxer because he's my idol since 2003. I start boxing 2004, so he's my idol. He's my hero, and we talked last time when I go home to the Philippines. We talk 30 minutes. Like, he told me that you're the next. He didn't say that I'm the next Manny Pacquiao, but he said to me, "You're the next." Yeah, just focus it. Your training. You focus what we do. Stay your feet in the gym. Stay fit and focus to fight. Because I know your opponent now is a tall guy. It's easy for you. It's really easy for you. Just hit movement and just throw a lot of punch. And he said to me that um uh what he told me. He said that do your best at the fight. I'm here to support you. Yeah, yeah, that's what he said.
So let's talk about Rey Vargas a little bit, because this is another tough fight. You had 3 tough fights in a row. Now you're the champion. Now, obviously, you could have fought anyone you wanted to. I believe you could have had a voluntary defense if you wanted to. Why are you jumping in there with another tough guy like Rey Vargas? This guy has a ton of experience. He has almost as many knockouts as you have fights.
Yeah.
Talk about how big of a challenge this is, and why did you choose this fight?
First, he's the number one in the featherweight of my division, WBC. He's the number one, and he challenged Gary Russell to fight with him, and he's just waiting for a long time that ranking. So I win in Julio Ceja for a eliminator fight. That's why I fought Gary Russell. That's a thing they do. Things to do, and now and WBC offered me an title fight defense, first defense of my belt. It's what's his name? Rey Vargas. So he's the mandatory of my belt. So I can fight anybody. I can fight who is that. But this fight is with Rey Vargas. He's a good fighter, tough fighter. He's a tall fighter, a slugger fighter. So this fight is gonna be an interesting fight for me and to all of us, uh, fans, of Filipino fans, American fans. This is a good fight, so they should watch this fight.
So you proved that you can box, and you proved that you can slug it out. In this fight, you're in there with the guy who's an aggressive guy. Do you feel like you're going to have to do a little bit of both in this fight? Because this is going to be a guy who's going to keep
Yeah.
coming at you. He's going to be an aggressive guy, and he's big. So do you feel like it's going to be very important to do a little bit of both? You just can't do one
Yeah.
thing in this fight.
If he's not running, this is a tough fight for me. It's a good fight, a brawl fight. If he engaged, this is a good fight. But if he runs, it's like a boring style, like
Yeah,
Pacquiao versus Soles.
yeah, yeah, yeah. So who do you think right now is the best fighter at 126?
Um, Navarrete.
Navarrete, okay.
Yeah.
And how quickly, I know you don't want to look past Vargas, but how quickly do you feel as though you can get some of these unification bouts? Because that Navarrete fight, that would be an awesome fight for you.
Sir Sean said to me that if I win this fight with Rey Vargas, maybe the next fight is a unification fight with champions.
Yeah. So
That's what we do this year.
so would Navarrete be your choice, or does it matter?
Doesn't matter as long as they understanding the contract. And I think they're choosing the Super World Champion now.
Gotcha.
Yeah,
Gotcha.
Santa Cruz.
Okay.
But tentative, we don't know yet. But I'm focusing now with Rey Vargas first.
Absolutely, absolutely. You have to. This is a
Yeah,
tough fight. It's a very tough fight.
yeah.
Nonito Donaire has a big fight up against Inoue, and he's the last great Filipino fighter, right? So how do you think he's going to do? And are you ready to take that mantle of being the man like Manny Pacquiao said you're going to be? Do you feel as though you can get to that level? And do you feel as though Nonito Donaire maybe is the last great Filipino fighter left still fighting?
First, Donito Donera is a good fighter. He's a top fighter. He's a legend fighter still, and now he's a world champion. So he's one of my idol, and I want to be like him and Senator Manny Pacquiao. I want to be like them that who remembered in the when they retired. So I want to be like these guys and get Donito and Inoue fighting. If he knock, if he have a lot of capable to knock him out, Inoue, he's a strong fighter. He's a strong left hook. Maybe he's gonna win this fight, the part two.
So you think Donaire is going to win
Yeah, for me,
by knockout?
yes, because he just do one mistake in the first fight. He just do one mistake. He didn't follow up like that. But maybe now they Nonito Nanaris team they prepared more.
Okay. So have you started camp yet for Vargas, or are you going to start maybe next month, or are you just doing some light
I
conditioning work now?
Even I'm in a vacation in the Philippines. I still working there hard training. What I don't stop training. That's
Yeah.
why when I came back here in the LA, I already start training last week.
Okay. So this is going to be your second fight this year. It's July. Do you think you can get one more fight in by the end of the year? Is that the goal, to have the 3 fights this year?
Yes, that's the goal. If I win this fight with Vargas, maybe this December, it's a unification fight.
Okay. All right, Mark, I don't want to keep it too much longer. I want to thank you for joining me tonight. It was great to have you here, and wish you the best of luck against Rey Vargas in July, and hopefully we can have you back.
Yeah,
And
thank you, Sergio. Thank you, Sergio, for having me in your channel.
all right, take care, man.
Shout out to all my fans in the Philippines, and please subscribe my YouTube channel, Mark Magnifico
Yeah,
Magsayo.
tell everyone where they can find you, social media, your Twitter and everything, and your
You can follow me in Facebook page, Mark Magnifico Magsayo, and Instagram, Mark Magnifico Magsayo. You can follow me
okay.
there.
All right, thank you so much, Mark.
Thank you,
Blessings.
Sergio. Thank you.
All right,
Thank you.
take care.
God bless. Thank you.